Hello students, today we are going to study the poem The Solitary Reaper, written by famous English romantic poet William Wordsworth. It is a musical poem, it is a lyric. This is one of his best known works. If we talk about the background of the poem, then we find that the poet William Wordsworth and his sister had a tour of Highlands in Scotland in 1803. There he attracted by a single young girl in the field who was reaping, cutting the grain and singing. Poet was charmed by the melody of her song that inspired him to write this poem in 1805. And this poem was published in 1807. The poet could not understand the meaning of the poem, but the tune of the music was so attractive, melodious, beautiful and blissful that the memories remained in poet's mind that inspired him to write this poetry, The Solitary Reaper. Let us discuss the summary of the poem. In this poem, the poet William Wordsworth tells us about a Scottish girl. She is all alone in the field. She is cutting the crops. She is singing a sad, melancholy, but melodious song. The poet asks us to stop and listen to her sweet sound of that girl, or gently pass away without disturbing her. He feels that the whole valley is overflowing with that enchanting music of that girl. The poet compares her song to that of nightingale and cuckoo. He tells us that the music of the nightingale and cuckoo bird is not more melodious than her. The poet tries to understand what this song is about, but he cannot understand the language of her melody because it was sung in a different dialect. He thinks it is about any war, sorrow, loss, or pain that has happened or may happen again because of the sorrowful tone of the music. Finally, the poet cannot understand the theme, but he finds her song eternal, that will never end, as he has captured it in his heart. The beauty of song will remain in the heart of the poet and provides him with a never-ending bliss. So the major theme of the poetry is everlasting beauty and sorrow. If we talk about the form of the poetry of this poem, then this poem is divided into 4 stanzas. Each stanza has 8 lines, and these lines are written in iambic tetrameter. The rhyme scheme is AB, AB, CC and DD. Now let us begin the explanation of the poem. I am going to recite the first two stanzas of the poem, then we will see the explanation of this line. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here, or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain. And sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary bands of travels insane in some shady hunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. The very first word of the poem is behold. So here the poet wants to attract the attention of the reader and says, behold her, means look at her, single in the field. Look at her, that girl who is single in the field. Yon solitary highland lass. Lass here means girl. Solitary means one who is alone. So the poet says that yon solitary highland lass, that girl who is totally alone in this highland of Scotland, reaping and singing by herself. Who is reaping? Reaping means cutting the crops. The girl is cutting the crop in the field. She is all alone and singing by herself. She is singing alone. Nobody is there. So the poet emphasizes upon the idea that the girl is all alone in the field, as he repeats the word solitary 3 times by 3 different words. First in the single line, single in the field. Again in the second line, the word solitary he uses. And in the third line again, he says by herself. It means all alone. So he wants to emphasize on the idea that the girl is all alone. She is reaping the crop, she is cutting the grains, and she is singing there. She is enjoying her loneliness. Stop here or gently pass. The poet says here that if the music attracts you, then you can stop here or gently pass. Either you can stop to listen that melodious song sung by that girl, or you can gently pass from your way without disturbing that girl while she is singing a very beautiful and melodious song. Alone she cuts and binds the grain. Alone. She is all alone. She is cutting the crops and binding the grain. She is doing her work all alone in the field and sings a melancholy strain. Strain means song. And sings while doing her work in the field. She is singing a melancholy strain. Melancholy means expressing sadness. So she is expressing her sadness through her song. Oh, listen. Once again, the poet appeals to the reader. Oh, listen. Listen that song. For the valley profound. Valley here means ghati, in which she is singing her song. Profound means fill, deep. For the well profound is overflowing with the sound. The poet says, even the valley has filled with the melody of her song. So here the writer uses the hyperbole, that her sound has echoed the whole valley of that highland. Here in the first stanza of the poem, the poet uses many literary terms. Like in the very first line, he uses the assonance, as there is the repetition of the vowel sound I. Assonance is the repetition of the vowel sound. As when he say, behold her single in the field. In these 4 words, I is repeated again and again. Again in the second line, yon solitary, highland lass. Here is also assonance of word O and A. O in yon and solitary, and A in solitary, highland lass. Then in the first 3 lines, the poet uses the imaginary to show that the girl is single in the field. And in the last line of this stanza, the poet uses the hyperbole. Now in the second stanza, the poet compares the music of that girl with the music of nightingale and cuckoo. But he finds the music of that girl more enchanting and melodious than the song of nightingale and cuckoo bird. Now I am going to explain these lines. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady hunt. No nightingale. The poet says that there is not any nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary bends. Nightingale is a bird which is famous for her melodious sound, but the writer here says that even the nightingale who welcomes the weary bends, weary means tired and bends means group. The travelers who take shelter in some shady hunt means shady means shadow, and hunt means a place under a tree to take rest. So it means that the travelers, after getting tired, when they stay for rest under any tree or under any shadow, the song of nightingale provide them pleasure, and the music of nightingale welcome them through its music. But the writer here says that the song of the nightingale is not more melodious than the song of that single girl who was reaping and singing all alone in the field. Among Arabian sands, sands here means desert, means Registan. The writer says that the travelers who get tired after a long journey in the Arabian deserts, their nightingale provide them pleasure through its song. In the next 4 lines, the poet compares the song of that girl with the song of cuckoo bird. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the furthest Hebrides. A voice so thrilling. Thrilling means exciting. The poet says that in the springtime, in the season of the spring, the music of the cuckoo bird is very much exciting. It excites our emotion when we hear the sound of cuckoo bird breaking the silence of the seas, which break the silence of the sea among the furthest Hebrides. Furthest Hebrides means in the furthest areas of Hebrides, the cuckoo bird break the silence of the sea, but it is not as exciting as the music of that girl who was singing alone in the field. Now I am